The CIA is a subversive organization, Part 2. It did leak out, not much, a teeny leak, just a teeny tiny leak, not much like I said, but enough. It was kind of like a teeny little leak in a balloon. Give it all about half a second and the secret is out all over the room, with the balloon going all around the ceiling, and as it runs out of air, and the whole secret and all the air are gone, and all the preachers, doctors, mothers, sixth graders in Sunday schools, grandpas, blind folks, deaf folks, therapists, lovers, the door of censorship from Riyadh and Washington, D.C. squeaked. He opened a tiny bit, but enough to get totally out of hand. If you were looking and you wanted to, you could get your fingers around the edge of the door and fling it open wide. I mean, wide. And let the ghastly, total, hellish truth be seen. But it was too much. You'd go insane. Just the women you killed. You, not them. So you're a party to it. Everyone who didn't wonder, didn't pursue it, didn't pry the door open, didn't fling it open, you're a party to it. Just try to imagine all the headless, one-legged, incinerated, dried blood little girls, the 8-year-old little boys with their grandfathers, fired in gasoline bombs and guts all splattered all together in bomb shelters Schwarzkopf says were missile silos. And he knew it was a damn lie, but he didn't give a damn. He'll be president or chancellor or something someday anyhow. And there were 8,000 kilos of bloody, stringy guts lying everywhere, like the basement of a slaughterhouse after a workday, and had to be hosed down for 3 days to get all the blood and eyeballs and thumbs and kneecaps of every size, both sexes, from the concrete, and put this image up in your Sunday schools and in your 4th of July parades, and above your bed while you try your damnedest to, but can't make love because you both feel in a terrible, dizzy, vomiting whirl. And this is the crime led by America's CIA president that we actually elected. My God, forgive us, for we know not what we do, and all of which still goes unreported in the great gathering of newsprint pimps, the American corporate syndicate daily press, that you can't even wipe your tail end with because of the ink is toxic. You know, I hate to say this, I really hate to say this, but if you didn't show some conscience and curiosity, you were a party to it. In a funny way, you're an executioner, a family schoolhouse murdering executioner. You're guilty, you're all dressed up, and though you've got a savings account with $30,000 in it, and you're a nice middle-aged lady dressed in pink and are a little overweight and wear glasses and you go to church and sing in the choir, but you are a murderer. You are a party to all this. You and every lover, grandmother, preacher, nursery school teacher, blind, deaf, therapist, mother, sixth grader, and doctor, frigging one of you is a party to it. You are all parties to these crimes. Think about it. Unless you had that saving grace of doing a little of your own thinking and feeling about all of it. You and all your neighbors and relatives that didn't do anything or caring either. I know it sounds harsh, but from the vantage point of history, 1,000 years from now, you are a bunch of murderers. M-U-R-D-E-R-E-R-S, period. Try to think of yourself as accomplices in 200,000 murders, of which 28,000 were babies, still nursing. Try to think of yourself as murderers, every damn one of you. Try to stay with that thought for about 10 minutes, then half an hour, and I'll let you know a little something. You won't be able to stay with it. You'll go insane in about 2 weeks. It is a lot easier to put out yellow flags and ribbons and get along with your criminal neighbors and family like the 1936 Germans did, who were parties to their crimes in their day, the same as you are now. Sorry. I'm really sorry. But all this is the truth. The honest-to-God truth, the everlasting, historic, take it from God, she'll tell you last straw down to earth truth, If you don't believe me, wait and see, and don't give us no ideas about how you didn't know. You didn't know because you knew something down deep, and you knew that's why you didn't want to know, because down deep, way down below your conscious mind, like your diastolic blood pressure knew, your prostate or your ovaries knew, your gallbladder knew, but you could handle that because they can't go crazy like your head or your heart or your lungs or your tongue or your eyes could go crazy. But don't worry, in your quiet way, you're so crazy already that nothing, absolutely nothing, you're terminally ill, nothing can be done for you. You already are one of the great tragedies, one of the greatest tragedies in all the history, in absolutely all, from the very beginning of life in the Cambrian primordial soup. Greatest, most obscene tragedies in the whole oblong, circular, spiral history of life on Earth, including the 1936 Germans and their insanity. So go for it. It doesn't really matter what you do now. You are totally over the hill. Just keep up your dues in all the stuff you belong to. That way your soul and your courage will remain invisible and safe. You'll just burn in the fires of hell later. June 1991.